Hello and welcome to our show Concordia News. I'm Thierry Tardif. Today we're going to talk about a topic that nobody wants to talk about, aging. Things get old, we get old, but everybody's really uncomfortable about the idea of aging. So our reporter Alexia Marsillo went out of her way to visit a very popular Montreal clinic that does very good anti-aging cream. Check out her report and see what she has to say about the future of anti-aging.
Anti-aging treatments no longer means going under the knife. PO is a renowned medical dermatology clinic in downtown Montreal that specializes in non-surgical face and body enhancement treatments. Dr. Bhavna Khanna is one of the co-founders, and she believes anti-aging should not be a luxury.
So more and more people are taking care of themselves, are living longer, and they eat well and they take vitamins and so on, and then there's a gap between maybe what they're seeing in the mirror and what they're feeling. We spend so much money on cars and clothing and shoes and things that aren't a part of us. So when we explain that to people, that it's your own skin, it's the largest organ you have. We take care of our liver, our hearts, we do all kinds of things to take antioxidants for our internal beauty. So having healthy skin, having clearer skin, having radiant skin is healthy.
Their anti-aging treatments range from injectables, like Botox or dermal fillers, to laser systems that correct skin imperfections that can arise with age and exposure. Dr. Khanna says there are many good benefits to anti-aging treatments, but just like going to the gym, if the patients don't follow up, it won't work.
But if you don't continue to take care of your skin, you don't have proper skincare habits at home, you continue to possibly smoke or not protect yourself from the harmful effects of the sun's rays, then you're kind of losing that benefit, not maintaining it, and you go back to a correction stage.
She also wants people to understand these results are not permanent.
You will have to do treatments. We can't stop the aging process. We can correct your skin. We can give you maintenance programs, whereas you're in the prevention stage, but we can't stop you from aging.
As the fear of growing old is present in our society, and as the knowledge of age-related health issues increases, the anti-aging business has no choice but to grow as well. Recent studies are even attempting to isolate the gene responsible for aging in an attempt to slow down the process. In Montreal, for Concordia News, I'm Alexia Marsillo.
So Elsa, do you like thrift stores?
I do. I love thrift stores.
Well, did you know that there is a pop-up thrift store that opened on Saint Laurent Boulevard where in order to fund a arts organization?
I didn't know that.
Really? Well, the organization is called Arts Happening Artistic. Basically, to just sell any hand-me-downs in order to fund for young and upcoming artists. Emily Lee has more on the story.
Organizer Maribel Garcia Navarro has a goal: to raise money to showcase new artists and help fund a newly formed art collective. Her fundraising tool? A temporary thrift shop in a space rented out in the Mile End.
So at the beginning, I really wanted to help other people to shine, to bring out their creativity, what they do at home. There's a lot of people that do a lot of art and they don't showcase, they don't have an agent or a gallery that showcase them. So it just came naturally to help them.
For a weekend, used clothes, books, bags, and shoes were sold in a rented space for $2 or $5. Funds from the temporary thrift shop will go towards buying an old truck to be used as a mobile art gallery featuring new artists. Garcia Navarro hopes the truck will travel across the continent. The collective needs $10,000 to buy it. On top of funding a new art collective, the temporary thrift shop also gives new local artists the opportunity to sell their works. The money made from the old things for sale go towards helping new artists pursue their art. Earlier this year, Garcia Navarro organized an art fair where some artists sold their work for the first time.
It was their first outcome and someone bought their art and they were really enthusiastic after and they wanted to create more and they were like, okay, this is good. There's someone there that's willing to pay for my art.
Still, for young photographers like Nick Vignal, breaking into the art scene is difficult and costly.
people aren't always really willing to pay for artwork, especially photography prints. I mean, like, I don't know, people get a little cheap sometimes, not gonna lie.
Whatever art you actually do, so whether it's tattoo or just design or whatever, it's just very difficult to be able to live that passion, I guess.
No part of it is easy, none whatsoever. It's a constant struggle, and half the time you feel like giving up, and you're kind of like, you're constantly doubting yourself, but I mean, as long as you're still passionate about it, just go for it, just go for it.
In pursuit of its goal, the collective has plans for similar events in the future. For Concordia News, I'm Emily Lee.
Did you vote this election?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't.
Why?
Well, it just got really complicated in my head. Even though the people even came to school, I was like already saying I wasn't going to vote because I wasn't going to vote for the Liberals, Conservatives, or the NDP. I should have voted for the Green Party because nobody was going to vote for them. So, you know, Elizabeth May, I got you. I got you, girl. I got you. But unfortunately, you know, I didn't have time to go out there, and I ended up not voting, and I deeply regret it because Facebook definitely let me know that I was worth nothing if I didn't get out there to vote.
Well, you see, the big issue out there is to get youth to vote. So Chris Ross and I went out of our way in order to understand why political organizations have a hard time to get the youth vote out.
The youth vote has been an issue for the past 40 years in Canadian federal politics. 38.8% of Canadian youth voted in the past federal election, and multiple organizations and politicians are taking on the issue. Apathy is boring as Kevin Riordan believes that there's a need to engage youth at an early age.
It's just important to get those people engaged in democracy early. Studies show that if you don't vote in the first two elections that you're eligible in, you probably won't vote for the rest of your lifetime. And so if you lose those voters now, then the rest of their lives is potentially they don't vote.
He also believes real conversation between elected officials and youth would gauge the interest of the 5.5 million youth that are eligible to vote. Cyril Giraud, Green Party candidate in Laurier-Sainte-Marie, expresses his personal experience as an international citizen to think of the right to vote as a privilege and an honor.
They experienced the right to vote very recently for some countries. Some other it's different. You see, when they arrive here, for example, in immigrants, they are very attached to this right to vote. Also, in immigrants, they win the right to vote after a few years they have spent in the country. So that makes a difference, so that you can involve yourself in the politics of your country, in the future of the country that you have chosen.
He also believes that it is the responsibility of politicians to mobilize youth to the polls.
Yeah, definitely this is our responsibility to get the young people mobilized so that they see the importance of the vote. We have the responsibility to go towards the citizen and whatever their age is, and let them know that there is something that is really important for them. Like they have to. It's more than a right. It's a duty for them. To make decisions regarding their future.
We hope today's election will bring an increase in the youth vote. If not, implementation of mandatory voting should be discussed. For Concordia News, I'm Chris Ross.
Living independently is something that we all wish to achieve. However, as our reporter Jacques finds out, it is a lot harder than we all think.
Youth have to be independent and be on their own. The destination most of the time is the city.
I decided to move in Montreal because it was a better choice for me. For work, basically, to be more independent.
Wanting to move out and live alone and actually being ready to be independent from our parents are two separate things, and sometimes the sacrifice may not always be worth it.
Financially, you have to be independent, so you have to work, no choice, because you can't eat, you can't live. Far from family, basically. I think it's important to be close with your family, but when you move out of the house, you learn to appreciate more the moment with the family.
Living alone in a big city sounds like the dream, or at least on the surface it is.
I have no more housemaid. This is awful, I'm such a snob. And the pro is I'm near everything and I'm actually enjoying myself right now.
Living alone as a young adult has its ups and downs, but in the end, the sacrifice is worth it. Chanel Jacques, Concordia News, Montreal.
Well, that's all for us here at Concordia News. For the rest of the team, I'm Thierry Tardif.